And next thing you know, it's like, I want you here every week. And then that led to me getting another residency the next night. But that led to when the Snake Pit ended up moving over to the church nightclub, there was a hip hop room next to the drum and bass room. And I remember going into the hip hop room one night and DJ Danny was playing, he was doing hip hop. And this room was crazy. I mean, these women were like on stage. I was like totally enamored, like blown away. I was like sucked in, right? I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. I remember going up to him and I'd be like, yo man, I'm in the drum and bass room. Honestly, we moved over there and it wasn't like as popping as it was over the Snake Pit. The Snake Pit was wall to wall, sweat dripping, crazy. And then we go over to the church and it's just like, it's not as popping anymore.
Just the vibe was different?
It was totally different. And people weren't really about to like go from our underground tight knit situation to all of a sudden like the church, which is like a very mainstream EDM, and they also got the hip hop room. I mean, it was just totally different vibe for drum and bass heads. Okay. Drum and bass heads are like the outcasts of the EDM world.
Like underground, yeah.
Right. So it just, the vibe was different, but I'm still on hip hop, right? Like that's where I come from. So I went to the hip hop room. I met up with Danny, and I was like, man, let me spit a little verse for you, and maybe you can let me hit these tracks with you a little bit once in a while. In my mind, I'm like, man, it's just dead over here right now. I'm trying to get in with all these women.
Right.
That was where I was at. I spit something in Danny's ear, and next thing you know, it's like, I want you here every week. And then that led to me getting another residency the next night. So I was doing Thursdays and Fridays in the hip hop room. Anyway, so one thing led to another. Then Black Pegasus comes in on one of my nights, and I was filming a video for something else, so I was running behind, and I come in and Black Pegasus is holding down my mic. And at this point I'm like, I know of Black Pegasus. I'm like, this dude's like the Colorado rapper, like underground rapper.
He's legit, yeah.
You know, so I was like, this is crazy. Like he's holding down my microphone tonight. So we hit it off, and I think in Black P's mind, he was like, this dude comes from the EDM world. Like within 6 months, we became really close, and I'm all of a sudden on Brass Knuckle Entertainment. Like, I'm one of his hype men. We're touring. So that really kicked off the hip hop thing for me. And then, then after a few years of that, I took a hiatus.
It's interesting about the drum and bass scene because from my experience, 'cause I have experience with drum and bass, I have some homeboys, and it was kind of like, when it's drum and bass, it's really their show. And hip hop, it's really like that rapper, and that the vocal is so much more important than it is with drum and bass.
Right.
And Black P's legit, dude. I mean, like, if you can't be from Colorado and not know who Black P is. I think he was even voted, I think, one year like Colorado's #1 MC.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Maybe multiple years.
Yeah.
Plus, he had that whole battle era where I don't know if you're familiar with it, but like that's how he made it. Like that's how he made his name, was battling.
Yeah.
And
and you're with him for how? And did you guys tour regionally or?
Oh, we toured a lot.
Did you?
It must have been like 4 or 5 years touring with Pegasus. Yeah.
And then at one point you said you took a hiatus. What was that?
I got burned out, man. This is my thing. So I was doing EDM and then the hip hop shit with Pegasus.
So you're just doing a lot.
I would go on the road with Pegasus. We would be gone for several weeks, come back, and then I had all the EDM shows. I would be doing like, back then it was called Rave on the Rocks, then it became Global Dance Fest and shit like that. But I'd be coming home and doing those kinds of shows and everything for Triad Dragons, and I'd be doing the church nightclub, and I'd be doing vinyl, and I'd be doing all these clubs and all these different things. I never had a break, it felt like. And to be honest, I wasn't being the best father I could have been. I had my son at the time, and I just needed a break. Yeah. I just got real burnt out.